All right, so the Samsung event is actually right around the corner. The Samsung event is expected to be on January 22nd in San Jose. And so a lot of people that I've been watching are actually able to attend it. Sadly, we won't be able to attend it because we got to go to school the next day, or maybe, if it actually snows. But anyway, today we're going to be talking about of course, the S25 lineup. And so first, we're going to actually start out just with the S25 Plus, just for the design and everything. And so first of all, the camera rings are actually expected to be a little bit similar to the Z Fold 6. So what this will mean is that they're going to have a little bit of a black camera ring around it. Now, we don't really know how this will actually help keep the dust away from the big camera lenses. And I'm going to say it, the big ass camera lenses, because they are very big, and no company has been able to shrink them down, and no company also is just able to, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, it's going to be getting 0.35 millimeters thinner. So not too much, not too bad. It's actually compared to the iPhone 16 Pro. It's going to be a little bit thinner than the iPhone 16 Pro. And so the colors, we're expecting to be getting a blue black, so a sort of midnight color, as well as a coral red, icy blue, mint, and a navy blue, as well as pink gold and a silver. I'm actually really excited to see the pink gold because it's kind of, I'm going to think it's going to look like a rose gold or something like that. But as always, some of these colors will be online exclusive only because Samsung's like that. And then, of course, for the S25 Ultra, it's going to be a fully flat frame, which will actually make it much easier to hold in the hand. Before, it actually kind of had some sharp edges, and so having a flat frame will actually make it much easier to hold it in the hand. It's going to be 1.35 millimeters narrower, which will give it about 77.6 millimeters in all. And so what this will mean is that it's going to be lighter at 232 grams to 218 grams, as well as it's going to have those black camera rings that we've seen on the Z Fold. That's going to be coming to this lineup. And then for the colors, we're going to be getting a titanium black, a titanium gray, jade green, jet black, pink gold, icy blue, silver, and of course, some of these will only be available online. I'm actually really interested to see how they do the titanium colors, really just because titanium kind of scratches easily, or at least from some of the leaks we've seen. It also doesn't really look good if it scratches easily. Take for the iPhone, for example, the iPhone 15 Pro and stuff like that, the iPhone 16 didn't really look that good whenever it scratched. So yeah, we'll see about that. So for the S25 Ultra on the display, we're going to be getting a 6.9 inch display from the 6.8 inch display that we had. We're also going to be getting a super thin bezel because, every company has been doing thinner bezels. And so that is why we are going to be getting 1 whole centimeter added on to our, I don't really know why it's such a big deal. Like, oh my gosh, it's so much bigger. But yeah, we're going to be getting a little bit of a bigger display. And this is actually what I really like. So Samsung is actually going to continue to work with the Gorilla Glass team, and they're going to continue to make anti-reflective coating for your screen to make it better viewable in light and lighted environments. So what this will mean is that it will look much better whenever you're outside and in the light. And actually, this will be the second generation of it, so it will definitely have a lot of a better effect on it. So yeah, love to see it. And then, of course, for the S25 All Performance. So that's right, the Snapdragon 8 Elite chip will be coming to all of these models. Now, the best part is that this is a chip that has been Samsung enabled. They're calling it actually the Snapdragon 8 Gen Elite by Samsung, at least the one that is going in the Samsungs. It's overclocked to run just like a Samsung phone should run. It's going to have about 12 gigabytes of RAM for all of the models. And then say you want to buy the 512 gigabyte to a terabyte model, you're actually going to be getting 16 gigabytes of RAM is what we think. Now, I think 16 gigabytes of RAM on a phone is absurd. If you think about it, having 12 gigabytes of RAM is actually perfect for the average user, especially, if you're an iPhone user, like me. Yeah, like me. Anyway, I don't have a problem with it. It's totally cool. I actually like the Snapdragon and what Snapdragon has been doing. And I'm glad that they're making a chip that is the 8 Elite, but it's specially designed for Samsung phones. And then, of course, the camera for the S25. It's all going to be the same. We're going to have a 12 megapixel ultra wide, a 50 megapixel main, a 10 megapixel telephoto, and of course a 12 megapixel front. So it's not really so exciting for the cameras because it's also going to actually be the same thing for the current S25 Ultra. So that's right, the S25 Ultra is, well, it's going to be the same thing basically, until you get to the new ultra wide, which is going to be 50 megapixels, but you're still going to have that 200 megapixel HP2 main sensor, as well as a 50 megapixel 5x telephoto, 10 megapixel 3x telephoto, and a 12 megapixel front. So the only new camera is actually just going to be that new ultra wide lens, which is going to be 50 megapixels, which will actually allow for better ultra wide. And it has a different f1.8 aperture, of course, that will change the lighting environment based on what you have. Now, I will say that with the improvements of Galaxy AI and the UI changes that are expected to be coming to these phones, by that I mean it's going to be more snappy, more quicker, it's going to be more smooth. Because of these AI changes, the pictures will actually probably show up just a little bit better because they also have the Snapdragon 8 Elite backing it up. So I love to see it, love to hear it. Batteries will remain the same. The only thing that will actually be really interesting is if Qi 2 actually comes to these phones. What is Qi 2? Well, Qi 2 is basically we'll just call it, it's the magnetic MagSafe ring that is on the current iPhones and has been on the iPhone since the iPhone 12. Basically, Qi 2 might become the new standard, and there are a number of accessories right now that are out that support Qi 2 because they suspect that Qi 2, the standard, will be that magnetic array on your device. So I'd love to see it. I actually can't wait to see what happens. I think it'd actually be interesting if you catch someone using a MagSafe charger on a Samsung phone. So yeah. And then there's one other device that was actually leaked in the invite. So you had 3 devices. You had the S25, the Plus, and the Ultra. And then the third device is actually going to be the S25 Slim. This is actually supposed to compete with the iPhone 17 Air, which if you haven't seen that video, guys, definitely click up here to watch it. But what this actually means is that it will be much better, be much thinner. It actually probably won't be much better. Don't take that for my word, but it will be much thinner. It'll also have the same performance as the S25 series. So it'll have all the cameras from the S25 and Plus, and it'll have the Snapdragon 8 Elite chip, and it'll probably come with 12 gigabytes of RAM. So it's actually very interesting to see what that, calls for. We should be seeing some more news about it because obviously the event is next week. So until then, you guys, I hope you guys really enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and I'll see you around. Peace.